Okay, welcome everybody to Fan for Racing Radio. I'm Fan for Racing Sharon, and joining me today is Jay Huseman, and we are here to talk about the Daytona preview for the NASCAR Cup Series. Going to be a regular season finale for the Cup Series. Jay, is there any news on the entry list?
Yeah, actually, and you say it's Daytona. That's what we like to say at the beginning of the season. Well, we're wrapping up the regular season, and we're going to start with a full field. 40 drivers and teams listed for the 40 spots. We'll see if we can finish with 40 teams, but to start anyway, we do have the open teams. Now, again, right now, some of these teams are regulars, but listed as open drivers. The number 4 is Noah Gragson. The number 23, Bubba Wallace. The one here to key in on, the number 33 for Richard Childress Racing, a third team, is Austin Hill. The number 34 will be Todd Gillen, the 35, Riley Herbst, and the number 38, Zane Smith. Joey Gason, the number 44, that's New York Racing. They withdrew last weekend, are back this weekend. The number 45 will be Tyler Reddick. The number 66, Casey Mears. Been a while since we've heard that name. He's going to try and make up to 600 starts. And then the number 78 for Live Fast Racing is Mr. Live Fast. That'd be BJ McLeod.
All right. Sounds pretty good. A lot of familiar names on that list. I love that Casey Mears is racing this weekend.
Most certainly. Like I said, I know when it came to his attention that he was short of 600 starts, he's trying to make that happen.
All right. So let's go ahead and get started here with the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona International Speedway. Again, this is a 2.5-mile asphalt oval, and the race will be on Saturday night under the lights on August the 23rd. They will have pre-race coverage available starting at 7 p.m. on NBC as well as MRN and SiriusXM NASCAR Channel 90. They'll race a distance of 400 miles over 160 laps. First stage ends on lap 35. The second stage ends on lap 95. And the final stage of the race does end on lap 160. They will have Busch Light pole qualifying on True TV on Friday, August the 22nd. At 5 p.m., along with radio coverage on MRN and SiriusXM NASCAR Radio. And then, of course, the race is Saturday night at 7:30 p.m.
Yeah, and it starts with the history of Daytona. Again, that's where kind of Cup Series history all starts and ends. But the weekend marks the 157th running of a NASCAR Cup Series race at Daytona International Speedway, and that is the most among all tracks in Cup history.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, the summer Daytona winner got his first win of the season in 5 of the last 7 years.
And with that, we know anybody can win. William Byron, though, with 3 wins, is the only repeat winner in the last 12 Daytona races. So that tells you where he ranks in there amongst that of being one of the top contenders.
Now, each of the last 4 races on drafting tracks have ended with a last lap pass. The longest ever streak of the last lap passes on drafting tracks. I love the last lap passes.
And here's, they talked about this last week and going in. Tyler Reddick has a 29-point advantage over Alex Bowman as they battle not to be in 16th in the playoff standings. Now, that's the most points Reddick lost to Bowman in a race this season was 28. And that was at this Richmond race last weekend. The reason they don't want to be in that last spot, could have a winner from below the cut line. That means they're out.
All right. Now, since the start of the 2023 season, Team Penske has led 1,123 of the 3,392 laps raced on drafting tracks. That represents 33%. That's more than 3 times the laps led by any other team.
Now, when they're looking at this elimination format, only twice in this format has a driver won to make the playoffs in this final race of the regular season who entered below the cut line. Austin Dillon in 2022 at Daytona and Chase Briscoe in 2024 at Darlington. And I really think that might be wrong because I thought Harrison Burton did it last year at Daytona.
Yeah, I thought so too. Okay, now Hendrick Motorsports leads all teams with 7 wins on drafting tracks in that next-gen era.
Now, Team Penske, on the other hand, is the only team, though, with 3 different drivers to win at a drafting track race here in the next-gen era.
Okay, and with Austin Cindric's win at Talladega, Team Penske has won at least once on a drafting track in 12 straight seasons, 2014 to 2025.
And that's impressive because, yeah, you got to have a little bit of luck on your side for that. Now, normally not his style of track, but 3 of Kyle Larson's 4 top 5 finishes on drafting tracks came in the last 5 races, but none of them at Daytona. So he's trying to change that luck just a little bit.
All right. So Front Row Motorsports won the pole for 6 of the last 9 races on drafting tracks, and Michael McDowell has won the pole for 5 of them.
Now, this is kind of misleading, but Ford drivers led 52% of the laps raced at Daytona in the next-gen car. They just don't have the wins to back it up.
And the eventual winner led 10 laps or less in 8 of the last 9 Daytona races.
Talk about how important teammates are on drafting-style tracks. Teams finished 1-2 in 3 of the last 6 Daytona races, including 2 of the last 3 summer races. RFK did it in 2023 and then RCR in 2022.
The driver leading the most laps finished 22nd or worst in 5 of the last 6 Daytona races and 17th or worse in 8 of the last summer Daytona races.
That shows you the wild card aspect to this. And along with that, a stage winner has never gone on to win the summer Daytona race.
12 of the last 17 summer Daytona races have ended in overtime. And the final lead change came in the final 3 laps in each of the last 8 summer Daytona races, including 3 last lap passes.
Now, among the 7 longest active winless droughts, 5 drivers have previously won at Daytona and 4 in the summer race. So it's a good place to break that winless streak.
And Chris Buescher is the only driver to finish inside the top 10 in the last 2 Daytona Cup races.
And Chase Elliott has finished outside the top 10 in the last 4 races, his longest streak since the start of the 2024 season. Again, after Watkins Glen broke another streak of finishing inside the top 20.
Also, Denny Hamlin's average finish of 26.57 at Daytona since 2022 is his worst among all ovals in the next-gen era.
Now, 4 of the last 7 summer Daytona winners got their first Cup win. We mentioned that a little earlier. We'll break it down here. It was Eric Jones in 2018, Justin Haley in 19, William Byron in 2020, and then Harrison Burton in 2024.
In 2024, the last 2 races of the regular season were won by drivers who needed to win to make the playoff.
It's go time, it is indeed. Now, 4 of the last 6 races on drafting tracks were won by drivers who were below the cut line. Ooh, that's a little scary.
Again, 4 of the 11 summer races at Daytona were won by drivers who are entered below the cut line, including 2 of the last 3.
When we look at this weekend, of the 71 NASCAR Cup Series Daytona International Speedway race winners, 13 of them are active, so that's actually kind of interesting.
5 drivers have swept both NASCAR Cup races at Daytona in a single season. Most recently, it was Jimmy Johnson all the way back in 2013.
That tells you how hard that is. Now, we're talking about the regular season points. William Byron already clinched that regular season championship at Richmond. 1 race to go here in the regular season. In 2024, the top 3 drivers in the regular season standings entered this final race within 18 points of each other. Watkins Glen unfortunately shuffled that up, so we already know William Byron will get that crown.
All right. Now, 3 times in the 11 years of elimination-style playoffs, 2014 to 2024, the summer Daytona winner entered the race outside of a playoff position. Harrison Burton in 2024 and Austin Dillon in 2022. And Eric Almirola in 2014.
Now, 5 of the 11 winners at Daytona in the elimination-style playoffs entered the summer Daytona race 15th or worse in the playoff standings. Harrison Burton in 2024 was 34th. Dillon was 19th when he did it in 2022. William Byron was 16th in 2020. Eric Jones was 15th in 2018. And then going back to Eric Almirola in 2014, he was 24th. That does not include Haley because he was not eligible to make the playoff.
All right, now let's take a look at the playoff picture. All 14 race winners are locked in.
Now, 22 drivers can still win and make the playoffs, and that includes Bowman and Reddick. We talked about them being in a points battle, but obviously a win would lock them in.
And without a winner below the cut line, the playoff field is set.
That's right. Tyler Reddick can't miss the playoffs as long as he is within 28 points of Alex Bowman.
Only way Alex Bowman controls his own destiny is by winning this race this weekend.
All right, so who can still race their way into the playoffs and why? Tyler Reddick, he finished runner-up at Daytona twice, including the 2025 Daytona 500, and then he won Talladega in 2024.
All right, and Alex Bowman, the two-time runner-up on drafting tracks, including the 2024 Daytona 500.
We look at Chris Buescher. Why could he win? Because he won this race in 2023.
So he should be able to do that.
Yep.
Ryan Preece finished runner-up at Talladega in April prior to a DQ.
And Kyle Busch is a three-time drafting track winner, and that includes the Daytona Summer Race in 08, Talladega, and in 2023 with Richard Childress Racing, who he's with now. So again, get back to that form.
And Ty Gibbs finished 16th in this race last year. He led the most laps at Talladega in April.
And AJ Allmendinger has 3 third-place finishes at Daytona.
Brad Keselowski, 7 drafting track wins, most among active drivers, including the Daytona race in July of 2016.
And Carson Hocevar, he was a runner-up at Atlanta here in the spring.
All right, and Michael McDowell is the 2021 Daytona 500 champion.
We talked about Eric Jones. His first career win came in the summer race at Daytona in 2018. He also won the Clash in 2020, which was at Daytona.
And John Hunter Nemechek, best average finish at Daytona among active drivers.
Wow, I would not have known that. Zane Smith, he's got a 2-time Daytona winner, albeit in the truck. Still the skills transfer.
And Ricky Stenhouse Jr., all 4 Cup Series wins came on drafting tracks, including 2 at Daytona.
And Daniel Suarez, again, he was that 2024 Atlanta winner in that first 3-wide battle.
Justin Haley won the 2019 Summer Daytona race and 2-time Daytona Xfinity Series winner.
When we look at Todd Gillen, over half of his career laps led have come on drafting style tracks.
And Ty Dillon, 6 of his 8 career top 10 finishes came on drafting tracks.
And lastly, we got Noah Gragson, who won at Daytona in the Xfinity Series. All 3 Cup top 5s have been on drafting tracks.
All right, let's take a look at the clinch scenarios. A little more complicated here in the Cup Series.
Well, we mentioned that we got the 14 drivers already clinched into the 16-driver postseason field. William Byron, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, Chase Briscoe, Bubba Wallace, Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, Austin Cindric, Josh Berry, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Austin Dillon. The clinch via points. If there's a repeat winner by a driver who cannot advance to the playoffs, or drivers that are ahead of the third winless driver in the standings. The same would be hold true if the new win comes from among Tyler Reddick or Alex Bowman. It's actually fairly simple because, again, if that's the case, Tyler Reddick and Alex Bowman would clinch regardless of their finish. If the new winner comes from Chris Buescher or another winless driver lower in the standings but still eligible to advance to the playoffs, then you have to be ahead of the second winless driver, and that is Tyler Reddick would clinch with 28 points, we mentioned, whereas Alex Bowman needs help. The win alone would secure it. Tyler Reddick, Alex Bowman, Chris Buescher, Ryan Preece, Kyle Busch, Ty Gibbs, AJ Allmendinger, Brad Keselowski, Carson Hocevar, Michael McDowell, Eric Jones, John Hunter Nemechek, Zane Smith, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Daniel Suarez, Justin Haley, Todd Gillen, Ty Dillon, Noah Gragson, Cole Custer, Riley Herbst, and Cody Ware. And we went through a bunch of them as far as the stats that would back up why they could again, it's Daytona. Any one of them could, no matter what their history.
Yes, indeed. It is going to be exciting. I do want to take a look at the playoff points because this is the regular season finale. We will know at the end of this race who's in and who's out.
Go ahead and do it from the playoff points because what we've covered already pretty much shows that it's Tyler Reddick and Alex Bowman battling. So there's really no point in talking about the points where they are. It's important to where they're going to be. And I'll let you cover that.
So even though we know William Byron is leading the points right now and is going to be your regular season champion, Denny Hamlin rises right to the top with his 4 victories. Then Shane Van Gisbergen, the same thing. He's in second place with 4 victories and 22 playoff points, even though he has only 464 points to Hamlin's 766. Wins mean everything. In third place is Christopher Bell at 3 wins, 748 points, and 17 playoff points. Behind him in fourth place is Kyle Larson with the 3 wins, 759 points, and 23 playoff points. In fifth place is the series leader right now, William Byron at 839 points. He's the regular season champion with 17 playoff points. In sixth place, that starts the list of drivers who have 1 win in this series. That's Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Chase Briscoe, Bubba Wallace, Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, Austin Cindric, Josh Berry, Austin Dillon. In 15th place is Tyler Reddick with no wins, along with Alex Bowman in 16th place, also with no wins. Now, Tyler Reddick is 89 points to the good, while Alex Bowman is 60 points to the good. That's why he's a little bit anxious coming into Daytona and looking for an opportunity to get that win.
And that's where you mentioned it, the wins and the playoff points that they built up through stage racing. I look at Tyler Reddick, actually is at 7th in overall points right now, but going to go down to 15th when we talk about that reseeding and the points, bonus points that they've earned. So it is important throughout the season to be getting those. And you saw Shane Van Gisbergen going to jump from 24th up into the top 5 when the playoffs start. And that cushion could help him get into the second round. There's a road course. It's possible we could see Shane Van Gisbergen make a run into the playoffs. And I know we talk about this one would be normally when you and I discuss picks, Sharon. I normally go with the statistics. In this case, there's statistics to back it up, but my heart is really with Brad Keselowski at this point.
Oh, yeah, I don't blame you. I'm kind of pulling for him or Chris Buescher or Ryan Preece. Any one of those 3 cars, I would love to see them make it into the playoffs. I think Keselowski, Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing deserves that. They've really put in a valiant effort, shown some improvement this year, and been right there almost for the win, and couldn't close it out.
They really have. I mean, Chris Buescher, again, had a very solid season like he always does. 11th in points, unfortunately, with victories from teams below, has pushed him out as far as the playoff cut line points-wise. Ryan Preece, first year there with RFK, very solid in 13th. But when we look at Brad Keselowski, mid-season when we had the in-season tournament, he was the last or second to last driver to get in, 31st in points, and he is now 19th. That tells you what a run he's been on after having just a disastrous, rough start. So, like you mentioned it, ever so close, just not quite getting the victory.
Okay, so anything more that you want to talk about before we move on, Jay?
No, I mean, that pretty much covers it. And if you've been around racing at all, you know it is Daytona. So we talked about that of it could be anybody. Like I said, I'd like to see it be Brad Keselowski, but could be a driver like Harrison Burton, and that's their one on the year that we've seen in the past. So got to tune in.
It's going to be interesting when we do the odds and everything for this race on Friday. All right. Do watch for more coming here on Fanfare Racing Radio. We've got the 3 previews that I'll be putting out over the next couple of days for Thursday and Friday. And then after that, it'll be a weekend of racing, and we'll see you back on the other side with our reviews, as well as our Hot Topic Sound Off discussion on Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time.
My big shout out here before we go would be Sirius XM Radio, because I will be at Jackson Motor Speedway on Saturday night. So I'll have to listen to it on the radio.
They always do a good job.
Catch up, absolutely. Got no complaints when it comes to that.
And then we can't leave without saying thank you to everybody for tuning in. We do appreciate each and every one of you. We hope you enjoy it as much as we enjoy doing it. And I'm definitely looking forward to the other side of the weekend, Jay.
Most certainly. And you mentioned Monday night, should have Chris Crichton back to talk of hot topics. And I'm sure the results of Daytona, and we'll look at the Truck Series field has already been set. Now Daytona will set the Cup. So we'll take a look at that and who we think maybe playoff or championship contenders will be.
So with that, everybody, I think we're ready to say goodbye.
Enjoy the weekend.